All right, aloha guys, welcome in. David here from cryptotutorials.org. Super excited. Today I'm going to talk with you a little bit about a project I love. It's called Synergy Lands. The Synergens are the NFTs that have come out. They were just dropped a couple weeks ago. So early on, if you're interested in getting into blockchain gaming, this is a great opportunity for you to get in early on a game and get a chance to really own some assets in the game, okay? So I want to give a quick overview of the game and then we'll dive in deeper and I'll go over all the details. There was a recent AMA, they got a white paper out. There's a lot of information available on this game. But basically we're about 3 to 4 months out from an alpha version of this coming out and probably sometime near the end of the year, possibly even early into 2023 before you're going to have the full version of this out. It is a Diablo-style multiplayer game. So you're going to be playing with other friends, going through different dungeons. You're going to have your character. You're going to have this little pet that goes with it. You've got spells. You've got potions. You've got all that kind of Diablo-style action. Boss enemies to battle into these dungeons, and we'll go into more detail, some cool things with those bosses. But like I said, early on, these assets just started coming out. I will say I do own some of the in-game assets for this game. I am invested in it because I like this project a lot. And because I've done really, really well this year with gaming NFTs. But I know not everybody has. And if you're new to blockchain gaming, or if you haven't been having a whole lot of luck with NFTs this year and you've been trying your hand at it, I've got something that may be able to help you out. It's called NFT Profits. Go give it a watch. There's some amazing things that it will reveal, and maybe it'll help you, see things a little differently when you get involved in NFTs. But NFTprofits.com, that's where you'll go if you want to take a look and review that video and learn from it. So as far as Synergy Lands game goes, first thing I'm going to take a look at is the team. I think that's always one of the most important things. Can this team realistically complete this? And I'll just say straight up, the two lead guys, Carlos and Oscar, were both on the most recent AMA. I watched it, and I have total confidence in these guys. They seem to know absolutely everything they were talking about. They were spot on with their information. They didn't, flinch at any questions that were thrown their way. They understand what they're getting involved in. And I've seen a lot of AMAs for different blockchain games, and you can tell which devs and which teams really get what they're doing and which ones don't. These guys obviously get what they're doing, and they have a great pedigree, so it makes sense. And those guys were the first two staff to join, but I think it's really interesting, especially as we see these projects going to Web3. This team, 7 of the 11 people are female on this team, which is very unusual in Web3. It's very unusual in the NFT space, and especially in the gaming space. So I think it's really cool, and it's something to be commended for. Their style that they have is fantastic. So obviously they're doing something right. They got a great team. But I just think it's really exciting that these guys are putting together a blockchain game with a team that is primarily women. Now, they obviously have a lot of background in gaming within their team. 16 years total, gaming experience, working for companies like Ubisoft, Nintendo, Konami, projects like Assassin's Creed, Castlevania, Metroid, Ghost Recon. So these guys know what they're doing. They've chosen well. They're going to put this, this game together on the Solana blockchain, which is perfect because it's got the right speed and, very low fees that'll work really well for a fast-paced action game like this. And it's being built using the Unreal Engine, which is also good because, that engine has a lot of pieces already coordinated into it. It's a much easier way to scale up a game quickly as opposed to having to try to build everything from scratch. All right, next up, let's talk about the roadmap. Because everybody wants to know, when is the next thing coming, what's coming up around the corner. As I said, Synergy NFTs have already dropped. They're already in people's wallets. They're available for sale. I'll show you how to pick one up here in just a minute if you're interested. But as far as we're looking forward for the remainder of this quarter and the next quarter, we got another NFT drop coming. Those are called the Founders Badges. Then we also have an alpha release for the PC that is scheduled to come out. So this game is going to work both PC and mobile, but they're going to release the alpha and the beta on the PC, obviously, and then port over as much as they can onto mobile. A lot more coming in the third quarter. We're going to get the islands, we're going to get the pets, and I'll explain exactly what the islands and the pets both are here in just a second. the full PvP system, which is great because the alpha and the beta are mostly going to be the PvE environment. The PvP is going to come out a little bit separately. Third quarter this year, you've also got a full beta release at the same time. So you're going to get that PvP and the beta both at the same time. And then as we get into the fourth quarter, they're hoping to have the actual full game out, start running some PvP tournaments, and do the boss sale, which is really cool. If you're not familiar with this game at all, stick around. I'm going to explain to you this boss sale. And it's just a really neat, unique feature that I've not seen done anywhere else in blockchain gaming. And then lastly, in the AMA, they dropped a hint that there was something really cool as far as an NFT sale coming in the soon, but not soon future.
We will have news soon, but not soon, right? So
soon enough.
Soon enough. I think it will blow some people's minds what we are doing right now.
Now, as far as the gameplay for the game goes, it's primarily working together in a team to work your way through these dungeons. So the idea is you're going to battle monsters, you're going to solve puzzles, you're going to create what are called synergies, by working together with the rest of your team and helping each other out in different ways. You have weapons, you have spells, you have potions. It's got that very Diablo up above, watching everybody run around, using different weapons and items and casting spells and battling lots and lots of monsters. It's got that very much that feel. A couple things that it does mention. It mentions the idea of permadeath. And this scared a lot of people. Obviously, they thought, oh my God, I'm going to lose my NFT character forever. And that's not actually what permadeath is. But say you and a group head into a dungeon. You have to stake a certain amount of tokens to go in there and compete in this dungeon. If you die, your character is done in that dungeon. You can't come back in that dungeon. The rest of your team has to go on and try to complete the mission without you. Now, your character is still alive and can, go around and do other things, can come back to life and can still be a player in the game, but you're out of that particular dungeon mission. When you complete a dungeon, you get all the loot, so the team gets to split all the loot if they complete it, and they complete it by defeating the boss. Now, here's one of those cool quirks that I was telling you about a minute ago. The bosses are actually NFTs, and there's going to be a sale of the bosses in these dungeons. So by owning them, as I said, people have to stake some tokens to go in and compete in this dungeon. If they win, they get a bunch of prizes. If they lose, the boss gets their tokens that they've staked. So whoever owns that boss in that dungeon. And it also allows people to create puzzles and help build out the dungeons, even though the dungeons are actually randomized and changed around. But you're going to be able to work in this environment and create these things and create passive income streams basically by helping them build out additional dungeons. And then, like I said, PvP fighting, you're going to have, character versus character, and I'm sure there'll be probably teams and all kinds of different combinations of things that you'll be able to do in these environments. Another important thing that is going to come up sometime this year are the land sales. And land is a really interesting thing in this game because anybody who's playing the game and has a character, and this is a free-to-play game, there is no charge to play this blockchain game, but if you're playing it, you automatically get an island for your character. And that's a small piece of land that you can do a little bit of farming on. You can build a house on. You can, possibly mine a little bit of minerals. I'm not sure exactly how deep you're going to be able to get with your basic island, but everybody gets one for free. And then there's some larger pieces of land, big islands, that you can pick up in an NFT sale that's going to happen this year. So when you have these bigger pieces of land, you'll be able to put on what are called crafting tables. And basically this is a place where you can create high-level artifact-type weaponry and different armors and things that you may need for battling in the dungeons. And you're going to be able to take a variety of different resources, and you're going to have your people that work the land for you, and they're out earning different resources while you're battling in dungeons and putting together these different weapons. So all of these are going to create kind of pieces of the in-game economy because there's expenses for every one of them. There's expenses for owning land. There's a land tax. There's expenses for building out anything on a crafting table. There's expenses for keeping a crafting table. There's all expenses for having, workers that are working your farm. So all of these are going to help cycle through because as you earn these in-game tokens, you're going to have all these things that you need to spend it on. I mean, in case anybody hasn't been paying attention, that's kind of what's hurt Axie so much is that the sell side and the buy side pressure on the token aren't really there in an even way. And it sounds like these guys have a lot of different pieces in place that are going to help make that happen. I'll talk more about that in just a minute, this in-game economy. But I think they got a really good grasp on a lot of ways to make the in-game economy really functional and make it so that you want to spend those tokens on different things in the game that you need to grow and level up and build a better character. In addition to you, you've got your pet with you, and you can see this guy's got his little monkey that comes along and goes with him. But these pets fight as well. They battle. They have special abilities. You can breed them, and these eggs hatch, and then depending on where you actually train them, they can learn different abilities. So they're a pretty interactive character, and there's something that you get as an NFT in the game, so you can buy and sell them. If you have a pet that you like, they're going to have an entire marketplace built into the game that's going to let you buy and sell these different assets. And like I said, they've got the tokens, but they've actually got two different tokens that they're going to use for this. SNG, that's going to be the governance token. So that's going to handle, sort of voting and decision making on some levels. It is a fixed supply token. And it's also going to handle all the marketplace purchases. So if you're buying and selling specific NFTs, that's going to be done in this token. Then ACN, that's going to be your reward token. So that's the one you're going to win for completing quests and dungeons and different things in the game. And it's going to be used for things like crafting and land taxes, breeding, dungeon entry fees, most of the main day-to-day usage in the game. It's going to go from that token, as well as all the consumable items. And so I don't know if you guys played Diablo, but for anybody who did, man, there were times where you were hammering through those potions and just firing through them quick to get through certain dungeons. Well, that's going to be an option, I think, here too, is they're going to make a lot of these, I can't say they're going to let you use lots and lots of them, but that's what it's going to be. You're going to have consumable potions, and all of these are going to use the tokens that you win. So you're going to sit there and keep cycling this money through. So while, yes, it's beautiful because you can sell these NFTs and you can cash out the tokens if you really want to, I think they've got a good grasp on how to keep people from really wanting to by making them keep the tokens in the game to use as other parts. Now, I do have a little confusion on the token sale because in the white paper, it says that they're going to launch it on a launch pad. So that would be, one of these that comes up, probably Radium, because it's a Solana token would be my guess. That's where Star Atlas dropped theirs, was on Radium and a few other places as well. And that can be a good way, but you're going to get a lot of people who aren't really gamers and aren't into this game buying your token then. So what they mentioned doing on the AMA, and I think is really cool, is finding a way to sell internally just to the community and not sell to a bunch of outsiders that may not have so much an interest in the game. So hopefully that's what they're going to follow through and do. That's the way that they were speaking of it on the AMA. And I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I just want to say that the public sale of the token will stay on the community, and we will not sell the token on another platforms. So
nice.
We want the token to be in the community, not in another way.
So there's also some cool Web3 features that are built in. You're going to be able to take a Synergen if you purchase one of these NFT Synergens, and when you stake your tokens, you're going to be able to get some sort of a benefit there, as well as they're a really cool in-game character that you actually get to play. They're a skin that you can wear. It doesn't, anyone can play it. It's a free-to-play game, but owning one of these does have some cool benefits. So if you're interested at this point, if you think this game sounds cool, if you want to get involved, there's a couple really cool ways you can do it. The first would be to try to get a Discord role, and I'll tell you, this is going to be a tough route. There's some OGs in this game, in this Discord, that have been there a long time, that are working their way up, that are trying to get to these upper levels so that they can get access to all these in-game assets. And you're going to have a lot of competition if you want to come in and try to beat them out at this point. If you're really realistically thinking about getting involved in this game, the best way is to go ahead and purchase one of those Synergens. As I said, I do own a few of them myself. Not going to be selling them anytime soon. I'm hanging on to those guys. If you decide you are interested and you want to pick one up, then what you're going to want to do is go to this platform. It's called Fractal. Fractal.is is the website. And I'm going to leave a link, and I'll also leave it up there in the corner. I'll put a post up there over to another video that I've done on how to set up a Solana wallet and how to get Solana tokens and all that, because you're going to need Solana if you're wanting to get involved in this. If you're going to get one of these NFTs, you're going to be on the Solana blockchain, and you're going to come over here to Fractal, and then you're going to look for games and scroll down until you see this guy, Synergy Land, and there you go. Here are a whole bunch of different ones that are selling. You can see they're around 1.68, 1.7, 1.9, something like that. Sol tokens. Right now, I think those are about $100 a piece, so it's probably $150, $200, which is not a lot to get involved in a blockchain game. I know a lot of the time you're paying easily $400 or $500 right out the gate when you have an Ethereum one, plus gas fees, just to get one of those early NFTs on an Ethereum blockchain game. So to be able to get in for this price and get something early is great. I think it's a really, really good option. Not financial advice. Having one of these, there's going to be some airdrops. So you don't know exactly what you'll get, or if you'll get anything, it's going to be kind of randomized. There's 8,000 of these, but you're going to get your in-game skin. You're going to get beta access and alpha access and things like that to the early games. You're going to also be a part of airdrops, and they're going to be airdropping all kinds of things from islands and characters and pets and crafting and furniture, and there's even a mint pass that some people are going to get, which is going to get you whitelisted on all of the mints throughout the entire year. They said it really openly, and I'm going to play this clip for you here in a second that'll show you. But this is kind of what they think of how they're treating the Synergens.
NFTs will be quite important for this Web3 platform, and for sure the Synergens will have their place.
Okay,
the
perfect.
Synergens have a special place on our hearts, so we will make them worth, definitely.
You can see they know that these are important. These are the original OG ones. Almost every game that I've been involved in, if you get the first original NFTs, they know to take care of it. That's your core community of followers. So most games are good. And from everything I've seen of these gentlemen, I believe that they're going to follow through with it. All right. So there you go. If you want to get involved in this, there's a great way. If you are still confused about NFTs in general or NFT gaming, go to nftprofits.com. That's going to give you a whole bunch of great information on this. If you have questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'll reach out to the Synergy guys. I'll see if I can get answers for you. And of course, I'm going to keep an eye out for the next information that comes out on this game because I'm excited and I'm happy to share it with you guys. Like I said, this is your chance to get in early on a game that has a lot of upside potential, a really, really good team, a really well thought out project, and what looks like a really fun game. That's a winning combination. All right. So I'm a big fan. I'm invested. If you want to get invested, join on. If you have questions, leave them down below. Thank you guys. Much aloha.